Hello, this video is going to show you how to make a digital drag and drop activity using the master slide feature in Google Slides. What I have done here is created a template that I will eventually copy for every single student in my classroom. But as you can see, these are fixed images on here, so the kids wouldn't be able to delete them. Same with my direction sticky note over here. Now these are used for the drag and drop activity, so I needed to make them where the kids could move them and be able to edit them, so to speak. So I'm going to show you how to get these fixed images on here and what I did to make this original template. So if you go up to Slide and you come down to Edit Master, in here I was able to make the template, and so here is where I can drag and drop these or move them around, edit them if I want to. And how I did this is I went to the blank. So you see these are all the templates that are in your master. So if you change anything in here, the font size, how you want your bullets maybe, that's where this is where you would do it, and it would populate to the whole rest of your slides for the rest of your presentation. But because I want to make something from scratch, I'm going to come down to my blank slide and I'm going to right click on it and duplicate my blank slide. So now I have double. But with the new one, I can come up here and I can rename it. And I'm going to call this drag and drop slide. So I can rename this and so that I will have it, because when I come over here to get a new slide, I've actually made this template in here. So now this is my drag and drop. Here's my original one. So here's my drag and drop slide. So I can just go grab it when I'm ready to use it. But I'm going to come back to Slide and edit my master. And I'm going to scroll down to my drag and drop slide. And here is where I would just, insert my shapes for my Venn diagram. So I can do that. I can right click, copy and paste. And then I would just drag this over and space them how I want to so it's level. And then what I'll do is highlight both of them so they're grouped. I'm going to right click on them and group them together so that they're always the same. I'm going to make this transparent so we can see through them. And then I'm going to make them the size that I want to make them. Okay? And so now I have that there. And I think I want to make the outline of them a little bit bolder. So I used a 2-point outline. And then from there, I can actually come over and get my text box and I can make my text boxes. So I did apples and oranges on the other one. So maybe this time I'll do soccer and let's say basketball. So I'll type in basketball and then I can paste one more time because I want one in here that says both. And you don't have to do the both. I mean, if kids have understood Venn diagrams for years, then you wouldn't have to necessarily explain that part. But I also like to add in, I like to make this a background color so that when I make those draggables, they're very easy to notice when they come in. And so I'll make that a background color. And then I also like to put in a blank text box here that the kids will then put their name in. And what I do is I will make a border around it and I will make the background color white so it stands out. And then as you can see, I made directions here for the kids. And yes, it does go off the slide, but when they're on it editing, they can see this in plain sight. So what I would do is I actually would come up to the Insert tool or tab, and I would come down and say I want to insert an image and I want to search from the web. And what that does is it brings up Google Images over here. And because I want the sticky note to be transparent, I'm going to type in transparent sticky note. So then that way, when I plug it in, I can make it, there's no white background in it. And so I think I'm going to use the pink one here. So I've selected it and I'm going to insert. And now it's there, but I can resize it and make it whatever size I want. And what I did is I twisted it. Well, actually, I guess I actually put the text box on it first. And I type my directions, okay? And then I'm gonna do the same thing again and actually, I'm gonna move this out here. And I'm gonna actually, see, I don't want to group with the others, so I just wanna group that. So I'm gonna right click and group on this. So then that way, when I resize, the type text that I put on there stays with it. And so I can stick this out here. I think I turned it too much, so I'm gonna put this out here for the kids to see. And so now I've made my diagram. I've made all these fixed on the page, so I'm just gonna X out of my master slide. And when I come down here, I can then go to my slide layout and it's here. So I have my directions that I've typed and they can't move any of this off the screen, okay? So when I go back to my original one, I made these text boxes here the same way I made the text boxes in the master slide, but because I made them here, the kids can edit them and drag and drop them, and that's what makes the drag and drop activity. And all I did with that is same thing. I just did a text box, and you see those sizing comes up, so it helps me, and it actually repeats what I've already done on that slide. So I'm gonna do 2 new ones here and that I left out, and I'm going to do one more. Okay, so now I have all of my terms, and to make them stick out a little bit more, I think I want to highlight these and put a little border around them. Well, that might be too much, so I'm going to go back to 1. And same thing with these. If I highlight them all at once, I can do it all at one time. And so now these are ready to go. And what I will do, I'll leave that in there for now, but what I would do is I would right click on this and duplicate. And I'll do that for these 2 and keep duplicating. And I don't know if you know, but if you highlight the first one and then hold shift down and highlight the last one, it highlights them all together. So this just makes it a little bit quicker for me to duplicate my slides. And what I would do is I would eventually get enough slides in here for all of my students. And so what's nice is I can come down here in grid view and I can view everything, all the students working on here at one time. So in order to give this to students, I would go to my share button and I would change this, and I would say anyone with this link and make sure it's editor, or within my organization where I work, and make this editor so that my students can all get on and edit. And then I would copy that link and give it out to the students how I would normally give out that link. And so what I really like about this grid view, changing it to this grid view, is that when my students do get on here, I'm able to see them pop in. And so I can see exactly where they are in real time. So my student just popped from slide 1 over to slide 2. If they go to slide 3, I can see them there. And if I hover over their icon, I can see who it is. And then now I can work on this in real time as a student, and I can see that they're putting stuff in the box or in the Venn diagram. So as you can see, I can see this in real time, my students working, and I can see that they're all on their own page when they're in here. So that's how you make a digital drag and drop activity using Google Slides, the master slide feature, and viewing it in grid view.